Hello, my name's John Spurko, the product manager for Foglight User Experience Monitor. The purpose of this demonstration is to talk about the new reports for the application support personnel. Now, the first report we'll be looking at is an application performance and volume report, and you'll see that one of the applications is called out here. So this is the specific application that we'll be reporting on, which in this case is ToadWorld. For those of you who watched the IT executive demonstration, this is a call out of one of the applications that we showed to the IT executives from an SLA perspective. So now this one's more for the person that's responsible for the individual applications, the individual web applications. So just to go down through the metrics that we're gathering, we can see the end-to-end time distribution. And this is a big one that most of the app owners typically want to see right away. So I can see that about 66% of my pages were delivered in under 2 seconds. And this is a report for December 1st. And then I can see the distribution of the pages in the different buckets that they fall into. So there were some pages here that were over 16 seconds. So about 3.5% of my pages were over 16 seconds. Now, as I look down, I can get a better idea of the page processing time throughout the day. Now, this will tell me if I had any big spikes where either my page client time, which is any time spent on the browser or on the network as it travels to the web servers, and the processing time is the back-end time. So this will show you any time that's spent inside of your infrastructure. So for ToadWorld, you can see most of the time was spent in the delivery and not much time was spent turning pages around in databases or applications. So sometimes if we see that grow, we'll know the blue is an infrastructure problem versus the green, which is a network or something going on in the browser. As we go down, we can look at the top 10 slowest pages. So these will call out all of the individual URLs, and it'll show you their mean response time for the day. So this time you get an idea of how slow it was. So it looks like we have a couple pages here that are very problematic, and these are probably the bulk of the pages that were marked as over 16 seconds, that 3.5% we talked about. So this gives you a real good idea of which pages to start chasing in terms of figuring out what the performance problems are. Another way to look, so this way, if you look one way, you're looking at the servers. If you look another way, you're looking at the actual locations where the pages are being served up from. So this gives you an idea of the distribution for the application, and it will show you the different locations that are requesting pages. So this is more of a volume report so that you can see where your user base is coming from. In this case, being a California-based company, Quest is going to have a lot of requests that are coming from California specifically. So this is a general overview of a single application that gives an application support person the detail they need just to gain some visibility about their user base and about the performance and the experience that the users are getting. So if you're monitoring, we have some companies that monitor 1 to 5 apps, and we have other companies that monitor upwards of 500 web applications. And this is a real nice way to just get these types of reports out to all of the application owners or application support people so that they can have a good idea of their performance. Now, just staying with the same role, the application support person, another type of report that they will have, and this is specifically when they're using some type of XML, so these are SOAP operations. Now, if their application owners are they're supporting some type of integration with another application, they're usually going to have some SOAP interfaces. So this is another report that lets them see the different SOAP requests that are coming in. This would be the operation name, and then you can see the completion time of each of those operations. So this is the time from end to end, and then processing time. So this is basically how long it took the SOAP provider or the SOAP server to turn the request around on average. And then the client time, this is the time it took the consumer to get the request after it was processed. So again, just like the web pages, we can see that there's the bulk of the time is definitely going to be spent on the delivery of the SOAP message versus the processing of the SOAP message. And you also have some volume information, and you have any type of SOAP errors that we would throw. would be caught here. So you can see that this partner zone one, when we're issuing a license on our partner zone, there's some problems right now with a 43% success ratio. Going down again, we give you some history. So this will be over the last week, and we can get some volumes on the, or some performance information on the different SOAP services or SOAP operations that we're currently monitoring. Okay, so that would be a general SOAP operation report. Now, when you think of SOAP, it's basically there's going to be a provider, which is basically the one who accepts the SOAP operation and is able to turn it around. And there's also going to be a consumer, and the consumer is the one who's requesting the information. So what we'll be able to also represent from a SOAP perspective is the different SOAP servers. So these are basically the providers that are serving up information on certain SOAP requests coming in. So we can identify the individual SOAP servers here, and we could also report on metrics, processing time, and client time by server. This way, if you have a server farm that's responding to a lot of SOAP messages, you're able to compare the different individual servers to make sure that one server isn't problematic versus the others. And it's relatively the same information on these SOAP servers. We'll get the volumes, we'll be able to get the success ratio, and then we'll also focus on the performance. And then again, we have the history of those individual servers over time, so you can see if one server had a hiccup any time during the monitored time, which in this case is 7 days. But we could also do this over the last full day, so you can see maybe certain times of the day when the spike volumes are happening. And this will show you the busiest servers, and then also the historical activity of those servers. On any of these pages, I haven't shown you one of these windows before, but on any of these pages, we'll be able to do alarming on the SOAP messages or the SOAP servers or any of the SOAP monitored entities. What we'd be able to do here is have a list of alarms, which I'll be able to show you more of when we get to the demo for the IT operations personnel. So this concludes the brief demonstration for the app support role, and these are those 3 reports. So just to recap, report 1 will be an application performance and volume report for a specific application with respect to end users. And then we have 2 SOAP reports, which is generally going to be another requesting application. So we can monitor from the SOAP operations perspective, the SOAP servers perspective, or also we'll be able to do from the SOAP consumer perspective, which I haven't shown here, but it's another optional report. So these are the 3 default reports for the app support people. Thank you for your time.